A fedora (fdr) is a felt hat with a wide brim and indented crown. It is typically creased lengthwise down the crown and pinched near the front on both sides. Fedoras can also be creased with teardrop crowns, diamond crowns, center dents, and others, and the positioning of pinchers can vary. The typical crown height is 4.5 inches. The brim is usually approximately 2.5 inches wide, but may be wider, can be left raw-edged, finished with a sewn overwelt or underwelt, or bound with a trim ribbon. Stitched edge means that there is one, two, or more rows of stitching radiating inward toward the crown. The cavernous edge is a welted edge with invisible stitching to hold it in place and is a very expensive treatment that can no longer be performed by modern hat factories. The term fedora was in use as early as 1891. Its popularity soared, and eventually it eclipsed the similar-looking Homburg. Fedoras can be made of wool, cashmere, rabbit or beaver felt. These felts can also blended to each other, also with minka chinchilla and rarely with vicuna, guanaco, survelt, or mohair. They can also be made of straw, cotton, waxed or oiled cotton, hemp, linen or leather. Fedoras have a wide brim. Smaller-sized brim hats are called trilbies. A special variation is the rollable, fold-away or crushable fedora with a certain or open crown. Special fedoras have a ventilated crown with grommets, mesh inlets or with penetrations for a better air circulation. Normally a fedora has also a hat band from ribbon or leather, and may have small feathers as decoration. Fedoras can be lined or inlined and have a leather or cloth sweatband. Fedoras can be equipped with a chin strap, but this is rare. History. The term fedora was in use as early as 1891. Its popularity soared, and eventually it eclipsed the similar-looking Homburg. The word fedora comes from the title of an 1882 play by dramatist Victorian Sardou, Fedora being written for Sarah Bernhardt. The play was first performed in the United States in 1889. Bernhardt played Princess Fedora, the heroine of the play. During the play, Bernhardt, a notorious cross-dresser, wore a center-creased, soft-brimmed hat. The hat was fashionable for women, and the women's rights movement adopted it as a symbol. After Prince Edward of Britain started wearing them in 1924, it became popular among men for its stylishness and its ability to protect the wearer's head from the wind and weather. Since the early part of the 20th century, many Haredi and other Orthodox Jews have made black fedoras normal to their daily wear. In popular culture, fedoras have become widely associated with gangsters and prohibition, which coincided with the height of the hat's popularity in the 1920s to early 1950s. In the second half of the 1950s, it fell out of favor in a shift towards more informal clothing styles. Greasers wore them with their leather jackets and jeans. By the early 21st century, the fedora became a symbol of hipsters. Indiana Jones repopularized the fedora in the Indiana Jones franchise. Johnny Depp is known to often wear a range of fedoras. Coach Tom Landry also wore the hat while he was the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. It would later become his trademark image. A cenotaph dedicated to Landry with a depiction of his fedora was placed in the official Texas State Cemetery in Austin at the family's request. In addition, the Cowboys wore a patch on the uniforms during the 2000 season depicting Landry's fedora. Michael Jackson frequently wore a fedora in public appearances, concerts and video clips. The fedora hat of the 9th President of Turkey, Süleyman Demirel, was a famous part of his image. Anecdotes surrounding his hat until he died 90 years old are numerous. In the Disney Channel series Phineas and Ferb, the animal agents of the OWCA wear fedoras when in character. The most notable example is the title character's pet, Perry the platypus. In Anthony Brown's book Voices in the Park, fedoras appear on almost every page.